Today I'm going to show you another part of the baby bunting star. In these videos I show you every single stitch, and we have gotten to the hood. So let's do this. To begin the hat, we will do a row of chain stitches again. First we'll do a slip knot, and then we'll do 30 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 8, 9, and 30. So this is the if you want to adjust the size, do it now. This is going to be from the back of the head to the top of the head. So if you know that you need more or less, then you could do that now. So hold the last stitch. That's not the one on the hook, but the one that is down here. Hold that and then chain 3. So that's 3. And now do a double crochet into the stitch that you just held. So that's the first stitch. Now we're going to just do 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way down the chain. And again, of course, this is 30 double crochet, but I really do want to just write this pattern as 1 stitch in every stitch that you have. First, because it's not super important how many stitches you have, as long as it's the size you want. And 2, because you might have adjusted the amount of stitches to fit the size of baby that you have or the age. So you might look up online what size you should get, and you might just adjust it to that and not care too much what I have set mine to. So just like with the points, this might be, you might have the same number of stitches that I have, or you might have more or less. When you get down to the last stitch, do 4 double crochet into that. So that was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. and we can just pull this tight in order for it to not give a big hole, and to also, I should perhaps just do a little knot here. You're never going to see that, but just like I said with the pentagon, you are going to see it if it unravels, and it's not going to be pretty, and it's going to be really difficult to fix. Now I just did 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and we're just going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way up the, what I think could aptly be called the spine of the stitch. You just sort of have the back of your chain stitches here. So we're just going to do 1 double crochet in each until we get to the start here. And if you can, of course, you should catch that tail. If it's not possible, just leave it and weave it in later. I have had entire projects which I have left just the what is it called? The tails in. I've just crocheted them in and then just left them, and it's fine if it's an object that isn't going to get much sort of use. If it's just a pillow sitting in your sofa being pretty, then that's fine. But if it's worn, like this is going to be, you should probably also leave it here, right? And just weave the last bit here in later, rather than just leaving it inside the crochet piece, because it does have a little bit of a tendency to come back out. So I have been doing the other thing in the past, and I just thought I would pass on a little bit of learning to you. It's a little bit annoying to have to go and weave in ends afterwards when you've taken something into use. You don't want to then have to go back and fix it. So when we get back to the top, I just want to make sure that that was the last one here. No, this one is the last. No, I'm sorry, I was confused. This is the last stitch, and in this we're also going to do 4. So I just did 1, and this is 2 and 3 and 4. And then we want to join with a slip stitch to the beginning up here. So just the 3rd chain on our beginning 3 chain. So the last chain stitch we did, basically. Now chain 3. And the next thing that I'm going to show you, you're going to repeat. It's called. You're going to repeat it for all of the rounds, and of course rows. This was the only round on this piece. We're going to do rows from here on. So I'm going to show you every one. I'm not going to talk through everyone, but I'm going to show you each. So the row is chain 3, and then do 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So you're going to end up down here somewhere. Then you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch, turn, and do the same thing. So it's going to be bigger. Basically what you're going to see is that you're going to have a flat piece here, and you're going to have a piece up here where we are going to go back and forth, and this will grow this way, and it will be round. It's going to make much more sense once we get going, but I just wanted to say that that is the pattern for this. So chain 3, 1 in each, turn, chain 3, 1 in each, and so on. So here we go. And I am planning on working in the chain stitch back here. And in order to not increase, because the chain 3 that we do at the beginning is instead of a double crochet, but it doesn't take up a stitch on the fabric. So what we need to do basically is to skip a stitch when we begin. And that's not, it's a little bit hard to say, but the stitch that your chain stitches are coming out of, you should not work. And I'm going to show you that too, of course. But it's just, when you work in the chain stitch, you get a very nice flat piece down here. It's not really visible right now because we haven't gotten too far, but at some point it is going to be very visible. Oh, here we go. It's going to be very noticeable that we have a flat edge, but also that we have a little bit of a gap every time we start a row because we have done 3 chain stitches instead of a double crochet, and this sort of shows because the chain stitch doesn't fill up the same kind of space that a double crochet does. When we get up to the top here, all you do is just follow the stitches. So you actually do have stitches all the way around. That's one, and you just have to be careful not to work in them twice because they are kind of far apart. So the next one's here. And then I have one here. And you can basically just follow your chain stitches all around. So as I said, this is going to be round. I already have a sort of a hole inside here, and this piece down here is just larger. So we're getting a point and a flat piece. I feel like showing you every stitch is mainly me showing you how many mistakes I actually make when I crochet. I hope that's okay with you. It's just so often that I skip getting the yarn over correctly, and then I'm just pulling the the stitch out rather than actually finishing it. But I guess showing mistakes is one of the strengths of YouTube rather than sort of instructional videos. Because you can sort of learn from me making mistakes a little bit better perhaps than from someone who is, I don't know, I don't think anyone ever becomes mistake free, but they might be better at editing things out so that it appears that they never make any mistakes. Oh, my light went out. Is my light box dead? Okay. I'm going to do this without the light then. Super annoying. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to show you, and then I'm going to go fix the light because this is not great. Getting a lot of grain without the extra light coming in. But what I want to show you is that you just stop when you get down to the bottom here. You have one stitch left in the middle. If you would prefer it to be without a gap here, you'll just continue. You can also, sometimes it'll look better if you have 2 stitches here. So you'll just choose what looks best for you. And yeah, so you just stop it. And then you repeat the row. So over here, what I did was I chained 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Then I flip or turn. And then I just do 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way back. So all the way back in this row basically means all the way down to here. So up here, around the point and down here, and then back again. I forgot to skip. I already told you that I wanted to work in the chains, and then I didn't actually do it. So I don't know if there's enough light for me to actually show you this, but this chain stitch comes out of this stitch. So to get an even stitch count, I need to skip that. So this gives me... Oh, everything is going wrong right now. So... don't. I am going to try that again, because that was horrible. I skip this, I work in this one. Here we are. So I am getting a little bit of a gap there, but it will be fine. I'm taking that over having an uneven edge. And so you just continue working in double crochets all the way up. But I'm going to figure out what happened to my light and then come back. And I will show you all the rest, I promise. Thank you so much
so much
and I hope
for
to see you
watching,
again next Friday.